Oh, too late. So can I just ask you guys real quick, like, could you guys follow what was happening? Give me like a short synopsis of what you just saw. Tell me your name real fast.
Tyler.
Okay.
I guess he saw some dudes about to go to battle and he was becoming mad about it or something.
Okay.
That's pretty much all the Shakespearean stuff.
What do you think he was mad about?
I mean, I guess he figured war wasn't worth it or something like that, or people they're about to fight for a lost cause or something. And that's kind of what I got from it. The few words I caught.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's really accurate. And anyone else get anything else from it? It's okay. This is no. Yeah.
He was basically saying like his thoughts were that he didn't actually do what he had planned to do. Everything else he was thinking, anything, it didn't matter. He wasn't doing what his father was telling him to do.
Yeah. Okay. This is Rosarito, who we went to college together, and I just walked into this room 10 minutes ago, and we found each other, and I haven't seen her in about 5 years. And she's a professor and teaches this class that I just ambushed. All right. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I should be saying. Oh, I have some cards that I'm gonna leave here. If you guys, do you guys have questions for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
What made, okay, I don't mean to, sound really rude.
Say whatever you want.
Okay, do you have a actual, like, this is a job, but do you have like a 9-to-5 job?
I ride a bicycle.
Okay. You make money, and first off, what was the thought in your mind that said, I'm going to ride my bike around America and act out Shakespeare? Like, what kind of passion do you have to do that?
Did you ask how I make money?
That and why are you doing what
I mean, I didn't think that far ahead. So I don't know. I like everything. I have my bicycle outside, this thing, my helmet, everything I've fundraised for. I did something called Kickstarter. You guys ever heard of that, Kickstarter? So I did a Kickstarter is a way, if you're doing an art project, they basically facilitate you fundraising for it on the internet. And you can make a little video and post it on there, and then make it really easy for them to post it on Facebook and Twitter and whatever. So I did a Kickstarter fundraiser. I raised a couple $1,000s, and I started going. And then, as I'm going on, I just rely on like donations and help from, right now I have a friend from New York. Her parents live here. I'm staying with them for like a couple of days.
So basically you raised a whole bunch of money before you just left. You just didn't go.
I mean, I raised like a little over $2,000, which is,
More than $0.
oh, definitely.
Okay.
It's definitely more than $0. But again, I plan to be out for like between 7 and 9 months. So it's not that much money. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. What's good with you, bro? What's like I don't mean to say any type of way. But
You used to say whatever you want.
What's good, man? Like where you coming from with it? Where you started from? Like, is this your what number state is this right?
I started from Tampa, Florida. Well, my parents live a couple miles south of that in Port Charlotte, Florida. I live in New York normally. That's where I'm from. And
So did you start this idea in Florida?
no, I started in New York. The last year of my life in New York was really I had a lot of crazy stuff happen to me. Mostly like the way my life is in general, just running around trying to do this as a for my life as a career, which can be super difficult. And then on top of that, a friend of mine that I went to SCAD with passed away. My best friend in New York, he passed away over the past year, and just a lot of crazy things happened to me. And I'll say two things. One, a big thing about this project. I have 6 other scenes, so I have 7 scenes altogether that I do. The theme of all of them is fear, and how people deal with fear in their life, what fear does to people, and how to not let fear dictate your decisions. So this idea just kind of fell on me. I didn't really come up with it. I'll say that God put it on me, or wherever it came from. And as soon as it came, I realized I had to do it. And the only reason because I didn't really have a job or even a place to live at the time. I was just jumping around. And I I realized that the only reason I had not to do this was because I was afraid of what might happen. So I knew I had to. So that kind of made me start doing this. And then the other thing was real fast. There's a guy named Joe Papp. You guys heard of Shakespeare in the Park? You know, like in Central Park in New York, they do it, and they do it all over the country. I think you guys, I think there's a Shakespeare festival here in Houston. So this guy named Joe Papp pretty much invented that. And he is like me. He's firstborn son of immigrant parents in Brooklyn, New York. He's Jewish, poor. And basically, he said, I love Shakespeare, and everybody should get to see Shakespeare. It shouldn't be anybody who can afford to take their whole family and buy everybody a $7,500 ticket to go see some Shakespeare. Everybody should be able to see Shakespeare. I'm going to make it for free and put it in Central Park. And not only is it going to be free for everybody in New York, but it's going to be the best Shakespeare in America. Like this guy got Meryl Streep worked for him. James Earl Jones worked for him. Al Pacino has done it. The best actors in America do Shakespeare for Joe Papp. I mean, he's dead about 15 years now, but it still continues to go on. And I basically took that model because I really admire what he did. I'm a theater artist and I'm an actor, but I don't ever want to make work that, people that, that I grew up with, that raised me, couldn't understand or couldn't afford. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why I'm doing this, because it's just free Shakespeare and I just bring it directly to people.
Okay. I know you ride your bike and stuff.
Yes, ma'am.
The condition, the weather condition and stuff, how does that work? You don't have a jacket and it's cold.
I have, my bike is actually, because like I said, I'm staying with some folks all the way in West Houston, which I have to ride back to after this. I'm staying with some folks that I know here, and I have about 80 pounds of bags that I'm carrying on the back of my bike, which has my jacket, tarps, a tent, all that stuff. Sometimes. Sometimes I sleep in a tent, sometimes I sleep in a hotel, sometimes I sleep at a friend's house, wherever. I slept one night at a Salvation Army. No, 2 nights at a Salvation Army. Okay.
Okay, what's wrong when you're sick and stuff like this? Stop what you're doing?
I have my family, they call me every day and always want to know where I am, and I always text them, don't worry, just pray. So I try not to think about all that, and if I do get sick, I'll figure something out, and right now I'm not, so I just keep going. You can. Yeah.
So you don't get on the train to the next day or the bus, you just ride your bike?
I mean, over this entire trip, I've probably done about 1,200 miles. I probably have about 5,000 more to go or so. No, a little over 5,000 more to go. And I've probably maybe about 100 miles I've been in the back of somebody's truck with my bike. But pretty much everything else, and I was on a ferry for 2-3 miles. But pretty much everything else I ride my bicycle. Yeah. Who else? Somebody else. You had your hand raised, right?
Yeah, I was going pretty
1, 2, 3.
They got the little braces on the front of the Metro bus.
Yeah, I may do that to go back home because it's a long ride. It's almost an hour and a half to get out here.
Where do you want this to take you? Where do you want to end up after you're done with everything? Because it seems like your fear and your problems is what inspired it all to keep going.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the worst that can happen,
Mm-hmm.